welcome back. And we are moving into our first conversation for today, where we are joined by mother of 17-year-old Kelvin Usher, Karima Williams. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you for taking the time to be with us this morning. We know that this is a very difficult time, and I can only imagine that you would prefer to be many other places and in a much happier state. But Karima, I want us to start from the beginning to understand this issue as best as possible. The entire country shares the concern and holds on to the hope that Kelvin will return safe and sound to you. But we want to go back to when the incident first took place. Tell us about what you have been told happened on that day.
What I have been told happened was that Kelvin was along with his father on the old Northern Road visiting a farm. They were younger, they have always been traveling with their dads to different places. He's a Rastafarian. They go different places, farms, visit Earth Strong, people having their Earth Strong, all over. So this is not a new thing for him to go somewhere with his father. But on Sunday he went over there, and apparently, from what I heard, around 11 or 12 midday on Sunday, the 24th September, they came under attack. They heard noises in the bush and shots being fired, and they started to flee the scene, because normally anywhere you go and you hear shots fired, you're going to try to move out the way. And that's what took place. Upon fleeing the scene, the father was captured. He fell, something like that, and he was captured. Bullets were still flying, because he had mentioned to me, Kay, I didn't know how I didn't die with all those shots being fired. He told me closely around 15 to 18 shots being fired. It was a lot, so he put it in that range. And he was captured and brought to what we are seeing on the news of him being in a marijuana plantation, handcuffed to a tree, where besides marijuana, I'm not saying good or bad, but he's a Rasta, so that he smoked. They had different things growing there as well, and whatever they started to rip up or burn up, whatever. But he was there for a while and was taken down to the police station, where I'm not so sure. I would learn that it was Queen Street. And I found out that Kelvin did not return with him in the evening. The police, I didn't know that he wasn't captured with his father. He ran, everybody ran. He ran it along with his father. And when I found out after 5, he was missing, that he did not come down from that area, we right away got a search party and went until after 6 o'clock. We were trying to hustle for machetes and flashlights and all this stuff, and we went up there and we searched. 3 vehicles went up there and searched in the night. It was extremely dark. It was raining. We holler, we chopped through bushes, everything, and came back empty. My oldest son, Kelvin Usher, didn't want to leave. He's no, you don't understand. This is my brother. I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. You have to come. It's dark. You have to come. We came down. Sleep I didn't get. I walk around my yard like numerous times. Where are you? I walk around my yard numerous times, And early in the morning, we got up. I find my stepfather took us, my brothers, everybody who I could call, to ask them to please come with us, 14 of us went on Monday. Can I drink some water?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks. 14 of us went on Monday. The father was not a part of that as yet, because he was in holding cell. So everybody else went, and we started to search. My sister-in-law kept in contact with me via phone because I still had some service in there, and she kept asking, have the police showed up as yet? Have the police showed up as yet? I said, no, they're not here as yet, they're not here as yet. He said, but they said they're coming. He said, because she had spoken to different people like Mr. Broster, and they said, yes, shot was fired, but there was 2 shots in the air. And yes, they saw people fled the scene, but they didn't follow. They caught one, they didn't follow because they're not familiar with the area. So I said, okay, and she kept calling, and approximately at 12:02, she called again, and that's when we decided to like take a walk out. I walk out to the main road, and that's when I saw the GSU lining across the street, roughly maybe 4 or 5, with I think the person in charge, Mr. Bonilla. My children's one of our person helper said, this is the mother, and he started asking me questions. He said, you're the mother, what's your name? What's the child's full name? How old is the child? And I gave him all that information. And one of the officers with him asked him, so sir, you think we should go get a team to come in? He said, I have to go back to base and do a debriefing. And he went back. After that while, we took a little moment and start snacking on some biscuits and the stuff that we brought. Tried to figure out our next route of searching because we did a lot. Upon that search, that's when we found his hat. And
that was on Monday.
On Monday, we found the hat. And then we found a green granola bar like around
the wrapper.
The wrapper. We found those
near the farm.
Yeah, right. Like from the area where they call it was a plantation.
Yeah.
You went around, and we found. So we figured the way we found the hat, that's where he had run. So the night we would not have found that hat because it was dark.
Yeah.
So okay, he ran that way. We found the hat that way, and then we went around. So from the hat and went around, we realized that he went around, and if that was the case, he would have came back out because we came back out after we found the wrapper. And we decided to go into the village to seek help to find out. So we went all the way up into Moscow. We stopped at a little cool spot, like where one of the guys that was with us, that is his family place. And the officer again called, Mr. Bonilla called and said, Miss Williams, where are you? And I said, we're up in Moscow. And I gave him the name of the place. I can't remember the exact name of the place at this moment. And he came. And an officer was sitting with a book, start writing down his name again, the same information that I just gave him less than an hour ago. And the name, his age. They asked me for a picture. I had a picture on my phone, so they screenshot it. Then I asked my daughter, I called one of my daughters to ask them, please WhatsApp this picture to this officer number. And they did all that. So that's when I asked them, I said, were you the set that did the bus? One of them, the same guy, right? No, it wasn't us. I said, because they said shot was fired and you guys didn't enter. And I find that extremely strange that GSU doesn't chase after people. I find that extremely strange because I have saw you guys before in action. And he said, no, we didn't go in because we're not familiar with that. So yesterday evening coming down, I heard the press conference of Minister Errington, Mr.
McKin.
Quite upset, because he said he learned of the missing boy about after 11, and I think the officers knew from after 5 when I knew, because the father was incarcerated and he was told at that time at the Queen Street police station about it, that Kelvin has not returned, has not surfaced from that. And the head of the GSU mentioned that right away they did a search party. They did not come and search with us on Monday. They stood outside, they came back and just got the simple information, and they did not search. On that Monday, we were trying to get the BDF, the helicopter, and they mentioned to us that you need to file a missing person report. So after 12 minutes to 1, I contact the sister of Cameron, Ruben, and asked her to please go to Queen Street Police Station to file a report. I said, she
that was
said,
on Monday.
On Monday, she said, that they have gotten through with Cameron. You know, he has received bail. They're just waiting. It was after 12, so I guess maybe they were closed or whatever, but they're just waiting. So as soon as they're finished, they're going over to the Queen Street police station to do it. I said, yes, please, we need this. And maybe after 1, 2, they went over that side and was told that it cannot be done there because it wasn't in their jurisdiction. So it has to be done in Ladyville. So he was coming up, and then I tried to call him, and he was coming up, and I said, you know, you need to go there and make the report. He said, I'm bringing a group of men to help search. That's when the search, like after 12/1, the search party became 30 people. Some of the villagers, hunters, everybody came out. Yeah. And he said, why don't you go down and do it? So I went down. My brother was already there with his sister and another person at the Ladyville police station. And so they told me to come down. So when I went there, they said, you can't do it. I said, but I'm the mother. They said, you can't do it because you weren't the last person that saw him. We want to know exactly what he had on. I said, that is so easy to do. I'm here. I could call the father and them and said, what color? I already know, but I could call while you listen. And then, you know, no, that's not how it works. He has to come himself. So I got him back and I said, you really need to come. This is after 3, 4. You really need to come to do this because we want to get the helicopter. We really need this helicopter. He said, I'll come when I'm finished. And he was up there searching till late in the night. And he went down like maybe after 10 or whatever in the night to do it. It took like
on Monday.
Yeah. It took 2 hours to really do a missing person report. So with that said, they said, okay, we'll get a copy of that and file and hand it to the BDF because they need a copy to do the flyover. That what should have happened on Wednesday. We learned that you have to go and file for it on Queen Street, at Raccoon Street, because it needs a seal, and then that's the process. But on Wednesday, we have gotten contact with the Ladyville police, Mr. Cockham, very helpful person, extremely helpful. He came, Miss Diane Finnegan's daughter, on yesterday was Thursday. Tuesday. Sorry, I'm so sorry. So Tuesday, a lot of people came out. Miss Diane Finnegan's daughter helped us a lot when she called. She got a hold of somebody that could have called the BDF for us on Tuesday evening. And they came after 4, and we left from up there till the night, and they did a thorough search. They went through and they say they saw like bullet holes in different trees and stuff like that, and they gave their report to Mr. Cockham, and he said the next day they were going to come and bring everybody on board, and they did that on Wednesday. So we were going up. And they did that Tuesday.
It's Wednesday. Yeah.
Wednesday, and they did that, and we were going up, and they brought everybody came out. The K9 was there, and that day everybody was out helping us and stuff. So
let me ask a couple of questions that I think I need a little bit of clarity. First of all, one of the things I wanted to know was, how well does Kelvin know the area? How frequently would he visit the farm or the area in Lucky Strike?
I'm not so sure how frequently he visits, but he has been in the area before, so he would have known how to come out back. Okay. Right out, like not right away, but would have known how to surface back in the front if the way how we saw his hat and way how we find the wrapper is like a circle. All the villagers are saying the same thing. It's very hard to be lost there because eventually you're going to look for the power line, you look for this, and you're going to start to walk. You might go into some swamp, some stuff. But should have been back from after 11 and 12. Guess maybe said, let me hold on and see if everything has calmed down. Should have been surfaced back by the evening. He should have been
because he had been there before, so he has an idea of how to get out.
I guess.
Now, the concern I think with the police is one that many people have questions about, and I want to be as clear as we can as possible. So this incident took place somewhere between 12 and midday on Sunday. Now, your son and your husband were the only ones there. Your son and his father were the only ones there.
Well, like I said, I wasn't there to see who all was there.
Okay.
But I know that they said I think they said other people were there and other people fled the scene because shots were fired and stuff. So I can't really give a
Okay.
count of that exactly.
So there may have been other persons
people.
present
Yes.
in the
Uh-huh.
area as well.
Yes.
And the shots were fired. And according to Cameron, Kelvin's father, he saw Kelvin run.
He, like him as well. He ran it himself.
Yeah.
Both of them run.
Yeah.
He said he was like here, and maybe Kelvin was a little bit up in front of him, and they heard like the bush being
Bushes,
moved,
yeah.
and they start looking down, and then they hear click click and shots being fired, and they start running. And I think
And that
he
was the last time he saw
saw
him.
Kelvin.
And the last image he had of Kelvin, was he injured? Was he running away safely?
He was running away safely.
Did he hear any scream of probably Kelvin getting injured, or
He didn't say he heard anything because he was brought back to that
particular area.
that particular area
Where
So
they
he-
took the photograph.
Yes, where they took the photograph.
following that, from having a conversation with him, did he say that following his capture, that the GSU members continue to pursue after
I
Kelvin?
honestly never did ask him that, and that was never mentioned to me by him. We didn't had that. I never did ask him that. That's something I don't know. Maybe I would have to ask him. I don't know. I didn't ask. You know.
I understand. I mean, your son is missing, and there is no proper way for one to respond or ask questions about this. Now, Sunday, this takes place about midday. I imagine by the afternoon, you know that Cameron has been is at the police station,
Yes, ma'am.
and you knew Kelvin was with him.
I knew. On Sunday, I called him. I called his phone because we're not together.
Yeah.
So I called his phone because every Sunday I call his phone to give him the week of what's going on with the kids and who will do this and if they're going to pop in on him over the house and help us. So I call him to like give him his regular Sunday briefing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So after 3, I called him. His phone started ringing and I said, because I called him Dad. I said, Dad. And the person said, hello. I said, Cameron? He said, no, Cameron is in cell block. I said, what? Where? He didn't say. I said, are with who? With whatever. And at that time, I hung up and I said, what? So I start calling Kelvin's phone to find out if what happened and if what's going on. I called his phone. I didn't get him. I asked my little son, Jaruben, to go over to his father's house. It's not a far distance. I live by Krem, and where his father's live is little bit up from the Burgerfield and Vernon Street, down the corner on the canal side. So I asked Jaruben to go. Jaruben went on my father's bicycle. And he went after 3, so minutes to 4. He came back after 5. I said, boy, I sent you to do something. Why you took so long? He gave me his own little thing, and I know how he is, you know. So he said, Mommy, Kelvin is not there with Daddy. This only Daddy they captured. Only Daddy was arrested. And I said, uh-huh. I said, okay. So I said, Alicia, check his friends. Maybe he's playing there because on Sundays, he goes by his friend, play game. You know, when they're playing that video game, it's 2-3 hours and you're calling their phone. You're not important to reach them because they're playing their games and stuff like that and basketball. And they turn off their phone. And so now, after 5 now, we found out that I thought he was captured maybe by his house or somewhere there. That's when I learned that they were in that area. And that's when we start, okay, Kelvin was with him and he's not, and that's when the search started. That's when that's when I knew that he was in that area.
Okay.
Because when I tried to call back to his phone and ask to talk to the police, it was a lot of, they weren't giving me nothing.
So somewhere after 5, you said almost 6, you took a group of persons together, went to the Lucky Strike area, and started to do your own search with your family.
Yes, we did.
At what point did you first have contact with any member of the police department? Was it Sunday night, Monday morning, before the police report? When did they come back to the scene and you first made contact with them?
Monday at 12:02.
Monday in the afternoon. And that was when you were at the area in Lucky Strike, you were already searching, and they came up.
Yeah, and I think they came up because my sister-in-law were calling. We were calling them from Sunday, calling.
Okay.
I called all police station, all hospital, I'm looking through the phone book, and you know, how they used to have like the villages have those one number that you could call. And where's the number for Lucky Stripe? I call every number you could possibly think about. Sunday, every number you could have possibly think about. Hospital. I asked if there's no John Doe. Yeah. You know.
And Cameron, Kelvin's father, who was at the police station on Sunday, knew by Sunday evening that he was missing.
Yes, ma'am.
Did he tell the police officers there? Do you know that?
I'm not so sure.
Okay.
But I can tell you that they were aware of it because my brother was called somebody in the GSU and mentioned that my nephew is missing. He was out there when they did the search. So maybe some of the members of the GSU had knew about it. I can confirm that because my brother called them and asked, and he was back and forth with them that they're out there and stuff like that. And at that same night, I started calling. I said, how do you go about getting a helicopter? Because from that night I said, how do you go about it? How much does it cost? I mean, we're going to gather up some sort of money and let's get a helicopter. It could do a look tonight, you know. And I tried to call. I look up the number. I mean, I don't know. Now,
there is something strange about this story. I think we can agree on this.
It sure is.
And your son is a sixth form student. He recently graduated.
Yes,
he graduated this year.
Yes, ma'am.
This year from SJC.
Yes, ma'am.
SJC High School. I mean, people who don't know your family, people who don't know Kelvin will say, oh, well, they can think whatever they want about him, but tell us, especially under the circumstances. And we have heard from friends, we have heard from people who know your family, we have heard from you that Kelvin was, they say he's shy, they say he's a very calm boy, he goes to school, he likes music, the people we've heard of his interest in DJing. Tell us a bit about Kelvin and why the circumstances are so strange with his disappearance.
Kelvin is a very sharp young man. He's like my stronghold. I have 6 children, 3 girls and 3 boys, and all of them are always upset. Like whenever anything happened to any of them, they said, don't tell Kelvin, because he's like, he's the father. Sometimes they will tell him, who made you father? You know, because he will always, don't you stress my mother, do this, do that. He's always getting after them. And sometimes I will tell him, son, nobody has you to be their father, you know. You don't have to be their father, mom, but they don't like to listen. Kelvin, from a small child, his interest was strange. People might find it strange. He's always quiet, reading, always looking for stuff. But there was a time he told me, he said, Mom, I'm going to teach you how to live in the Gideon. When the Gideon come, you know, like he said, you know, you can eat the sand. I said, what? You crazy? He said, you take your hand and you do like 3 digging, and that is good. He said, at any given time, you're trapped out there and you don't have anything to eat. You could eat that, he said, and when you see those things like pool, you take a time and you drain that water and you drink it. He said, you eat those leaves. He said, those things are good for you, know. All these things that you're eating, you need to stop, you know, mother. I don't want nothing to happen to you. Not last summer, he asked me, he said, Mom, can you get me a job at the hospital? I said, what do you want to do, boy? He said, I want to work in the theater. I said, I could ask Bambi. I said, we have a friend, Doyle. I said, maybe I could ask him to see. I said, well, I don't know if they're going to allow you. I said, well, why would you want to work in there? He said, it amazed. I just want to see when you do the surgeries, how the organs, how it, you know, stuff like that and things like that. On Friday, he asked me, he said, where is my religion book? I said, which one? He said, the red one, religious studies. I said, why? He said, I just want to read it all over for myself. It's just something I want to do for myself. That's what he does. His grandmother had passed away 2 years ago, Miss Merva. Oh, they're very close. Kelvin is like a sheltered child. You know, you have to give him that extra and stuff like that. When he was younger, everybody was going everywhere. He would stay home. He's going to stay home with his grandmother and stuff like that. He started drinking tea with bread in the cup because his grandmother did that, you know, and stuff like that. And that's Kelvin. He go to a function, he could be hungry. He's not going to ask for any food. He's not going to say anything. He's going to stand right there until you offer him. A young lady called me, said he sees him on the bus every 12 o'clock because between the time he doesn't have a class, he would come home and have lunch. He said, and he's so quiet, sit right next. He said, I was standing and he get up and he said, and got up and gave him the seat. He said he walked up and touched the bus driver and go. He said, I see him every day, just smiling. He said he might not say morning or stuff like that, but he smiled. But you know, just that smile. Yeah. Kelvin is an extraordinary child.
Yeah.
Has he ever been in trouble
Never
with the law?
yet.
Ever searched? Ever stopped?
Nothing.
Ever?
The only problem, I'm not going to say the problem with the law. 2 years ago in Orange Walk, they had an altercation with the police in the sense that apparently some kind of stuff had broke out. His brother was sitting on a stump eating some food, and something had happened, and the police, GSU, whatever all of these people are called, rushed into the area, and his brother was eating, and they dragged him by his hair from one distance to another and hold him up. And Kelvin now, he's very defensive when it comes to his siblings.
Yes.
Of course.
And he saw that and he went to them and he said, why are you doing this to my brother? And one of the officers grabbed him up by his shirt and ripped it off. And another one slapped him so hard, his handprint left in the face for a week.
Wow.
I wasn't in Orange Walk at that time, and everybody that was there, friends, calling me, KK, they're beating up your son, and they have not done anything wrong. They're standing right here. There was a fight with a bunch of people, and they came, and I guess because they're black, they have dreads, they attacked them for an entire week. And every day, Kelvin, when we went through that process, my oldest son was hospitalized because he had an asthma attack. Kelvin, we took him to the eye doctor because the fingerprint went in his eye for a whole week.
Wow.
And a day me and him was walking, and he said, Mom, see, that's the same guy that did the thing to me. And I said, don't worry about it, Kelvin. You just pray for them and let's carry on. And never a problem.
So that's the only incident he's ever had with police.
If you check his records at school, he has never been a problem
trouble
child. Never.
From what you previously mentioned about Kelvin, we know now that he is definitely a strong individual and that he is able to survive. We haven't heard anything of, as much as shots were fired in the vicinity, we haven't heard anything about blood in the area or daddy saying that, you know what, there was a scream out. As a mother, what's your gut feeling about him being in the wilderness as we speak?
When I went there, I haven't felt his presence. I haven't felt it up until yesterday. I haven't felt him, so I know he's not there. He's not there, none at all. The villagers said they heard a lot of shot fires. There's a house just above us before you enter over that side and stuff, and they said they heard a lot of shot fires. They heard it. They heard it around the time. Villagers also told us that one villager said they were coming along the way going home to Moscow. And upon reaching that exact same spot, the GSU had blocked off the area and told them they need to go around, you cannot pass. He's like, but I live in that area. And they told him he cannot pass. And he said, he reversed back a little and wait a little while, and he saw when they brought out the Rasta, they say when they brought him out in Atmoff. And I think he said he saw them drive off. And I also heard from villagers that roughly around 6 o'clock or after 5, the GSU passed through the village. While passing through, we had 2 GSU lying in the back of the panel, lying down flat, or lying lying down flat. And this was said because, you know, in the village you pass under trees and stuff, and people saw that. People saw the GSU in the area until 6 o'clock. After 5, 6 the evening, but getting dark. So, I don't know.
Now you've been out searching since Sunday.
Yes,
You've
ma'am.
had overwhelming support from people all over.
We sure did.
And you've also had members of the police department there as well. What is the interaction like? Right now, there is a lot of suspicion placed on what has actually taken place at the raid, what the involvement of the GSU was at that time. And as you know, as of yesterday, we know that there are 2 very different accounts that
Yes,
are being
ma'am.
given.
Yes, ma'am.
What is it like for you when you are out there searching? Tell us a bit about what that interaction is like.
We're out there searching, and I want to say a minute, like, thanks to everybody.
Yeah.
People from all walk were out there, and Tuesday was amazing. All these gang from
Yeah.
different area,
Yes.
everybody, red, blue, green, were out there together. That was very amazing to see, that they left their differences and they came out to search. People called from Danriga want to come all over the place, but everybody's searching. All these hunters are out there, and they're saying he's not here. No way, no how. No way, no how. On Tuesday, I was going up, and Officer Dawson, Mr. Dawson, I'm not so sure if he's an inspector, so I'm going to say Mr. Dawson, asked me to stop in the Ladyville police station, insist. And when I stopped in there, he mentioned to me, you're the mother, what's your name? And I gave him my name. He said, have you been to the village before? Have you been there before? I said, yes. He said, so then you know the area, because if you go all the way to back, you end up to another village. You go, so you have to come up.
Yeah.
So I believe that he has contacted you from Sunday or whatever, because then it's no way he can still be there. He said, because I have my men on the ground. This is Tuesday. I have my men on the ground from early this morning searching. We have the dogs and stuff out there already. He said, and there's no way he's there. So I believe that he has contacted you, and you are here wasting our time and resources. Like this is a prank. That's what I believe. He said, because there's no way he should have surfaced already.
Somewhere, yes.
And people are searching and they haven't found him on the physical ground. So what's going on? And I said, really? Like, this is what you're going to tell me? You think I would do such a thing? I have a daughter in Fort Farm, which is a critical class. I have a daughter in standard 6, and I would have them out of school.
Classes, yes.
And I would have all these people wasting time, taking time from work, asking to help us. I said, come on, then you have to ask your police, your GSU, what happened if you think that he has to have come out. And we walked out.
So you found the cap so far, you found the wrapper from the granola bar. Have they found his phone? Have a search been done for his phone from the last spin?
When I was asking about the phone, when I told Mr. Bunny on Monday that we're trying to get the police report to track his phone, because he has an iPhone, for the last time that it was used, one of the officer came up and said, is his phone a white phone? And I said, yes. He said, oh, it's in his father's vehicle. I'm like, what? Kelvin, actually, Kelvin, these young people,
They don't let go of their phone.
phone is the most important thing to them. I tell you, I like tell them, I said, I want you guys to show interest in me, just like how you show interest in your phone. Like I crack a joke. I said, I want you guys to love me like how you love your phone. Because young people and phone. My goodness. So I said, He said, yeah. He said he has like a pattern. I said, oh, I'm not so sure. I said, if he has a pattern on the phone. And I said, all right. Then he said he was in his father's vehicle. I said, okay. Because we were going. I said, but anyway, when we get the missing person report, we're going to still track the last location where it was, like the last, because my friend said it's going to track to the last tower and stuff. So, but that has been found in his father's vehicle.
And did you do the tracking to see if...
Well, we just finally got the missing person report yesterday, like the actual hard copy of it over. So we're going to see what that turned out. Because this morning I got up and I started walking around my yard from like after 4, just to walk, and said, I started talking to Mary, because how I pray is like a conversation. I said, I remember when you had lost your son Jesus. I said, I'm losing minds here. I said, and you found him. Help me find minds. Please help me find, so.
Karima, you said something I think very powerful. You said you have been in the search area and you don't feel the presence of your
I don't. And my children, we are very close-knitted family. We have conversation. When Kelvin started Sixth Farm, I said, because he is, like I tell you, he takes his time and lotion all between. He takes his time doing everything, literally takes his time. So I said, you know what, Kel? I'm going with you every morning to school. Like I'm dropping off a preschooler. I said, we're going to get out at 7:30 and we're going to catch the bus on the boulevard. On Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday, he has an 8 o'clock class, and he has always been on time with those. So, he's not there.
So you don't feel that he's there?
I don't feel him. He's not there. He's not there. We searched everywhere. Minister Castro brought out a team yesterday. Curdle Hyde was there. Everybody was there. Different times, different occasion, and we searched. We came down from Mascal Bridge to Maruba, to all the way here. We did Santa Marta. We did Rockstone. We did where you could come out through the back. A gentleman called me from Cookie Tree, said he's going to help us search through that area because Cookie Tree bring you to Rockstone. A gentleman from Biscayne said he's going to help us through the area. A gentleman from Bomba said he's going to help us through that area.
So the whole area has been
canines
combed.
were out, the BDF were there, you had search parties. You as the mother say that you feel that you don't feel the presence of your child in that area.
I don't feel it.
The only thing you found is his hat, his wrapper. The phone was in the father's car. Karima, where do you think your son is? What do you, in your...
I don't know where is he. If they did something to him, let somebody prank call me and let me go search somewhere for him or something. If somebody have him hold, something. You guys come to me personally. I won't even bring this up to the media. I will leave it be. I'll just if I have him, just bring him. I know on Tuesday when we first went on the scene, the GSU was there searching before us, and they didn't want nobody to enter the scene. They were stopping people from entering the scene. I don't know why, but they didn't want people to enter first on Tuesday. But they were there on Tuesday. They didn't want nobody to enter. And even when they found the hat they sent by the pond, they said they want everybody to come out, and because too much people is back there. There's too much people searching, and they're knocking off the dogs and stuff like that. And they said they're going to after 1:30 they're going in and do another search of the same pond. But they don't want people to come in. I said, what? I said, how you mean? I said, we need family members. And they said, okay, we'll take the immediate family members by the pond to search. And then after a while, Mr. Kokom agreed that no, everybody's going in.
Kelvin has siblings, and we've heard interviews with his sisters. I know it's a very, very difficult time.
Yeah.
It's hard for you as a mother, and then your children are hurting as well because they can't find their sibling. What are you doing with the family, and how are they coping? You know?
I try my best to be the stronghold. Like if they see me strong, and I think that's going to give them the strength to carry on. But anytime they see me cry or anything, they're going to worry. This morning, about after 1, my baby Jaruben jumped up out of his sleep. Where is Kelvin? Where is Kelvin? You know, and I had to go calm him down. And I said, he's going to be home soon, son. He's going to be home. My daughter Karima comes and hugged me and said, Mommy, everything is going to be okay now. Kelisha is like, where is Kelvin? Cameron is where? Sonny, everybody, it's hard for them. They just, right now, I think we just want to find him.
What is the plan? What is the plan for today?
Today, Minister Castro had mentioned to us, let's check to, let's maybe do Boom area, maybe do those area, maybe let's further research. They were talking something about some honeycomb or something. So they're trying to extend the search out more. So we're going to be working with ground people. People want to come out and help, and it's hard, you know. We had a gentleman, I can't remember, his Derek Aikman had called us, offering us food and stuff like that. Mr. Castro said he's going to do the same. He said early he ride that trail every morning. So today he said he's going to ride and look out and give us a buzz and stuff like that. Villagers, people come out, come out, people are there. I'm so grateful for this.
Now I know your number one concern is finding your son, and we know that many people come out to help, but at the same time there are many people trying to understand what took place that
That's
day.
true, even me. I think personally, I'm here saying this, that the GSU know more than they're telling us. Because
you heard the press conference yesterday. Tell me about your reaction to that.
I was so upset. We were up there, you know, and up in that area, and I heard the press conference, and I was so annoyed. I was so upset because the commander in charge, Mr. McKinn, if you heard how he was talking, he was stuttering around, and he has not been there as the commander in charge. Chester Williams was there yesterday. I think that he should actually go there, maybe walk a little of the area and get a feel back before he had read what was written to him. You know, Then Minister Errington spoke again, and I mean,
Did it anger you hearing?
it angered me because they weren't there. And if any of these people would just go there and look at the search and go around, they would see that he had to have come out. Had to have come out within that same time. It's after 11. That same day, that same evening, he had to have come out, or he was hit with one of these bullets and lay down hurt somewhere. Then we would have found him. So he was obviously moved, because then at the end of the day, you shouldn't have went in shooting. You went to a farmland or plantation or whatever. So going there, you shouldn't go in there shooting, because these are not gang these are not gang people, people that you have arrested for gun, for shooting somebody or stuff like that. These are not those type of people. Who, they don't know, maybe they got a tip who it was, but still, these are not that type of people. And if you were shooting in the air, if it was a shot in the air and he fell down and maybe dropped and hurt his foot, then if they had saw him, they would have picked him up. So he was obviously, I think he came out maybe, and they saw him and they moved him and maybe have him somewhere torturing him or something. Or he was shot with one of these bullets, and upon going back to make sure, because I think when police fire shot, they have to go back and pick up their stuff. And the BDF asked us if we found any bullet on the shells, and we did not find anything on Monday.
On Monday there were no shells.
Nothing. We looked, and we were looking on the ground, looking. That's when we found the hat. That's when we were looking on the ground, because we found the hat, we found the wrapper, we saw footsteps and all these things. So we were doing ground search, bending down, looking in holes, joking stuff in the wells, and bend and push them and dropping stuff. So we were really doing that top to bottom search. On Monday and Tuesday, even better, we did it.
So from when you went to the farm on Monday evening, there were no shells?
There were none. Monday morning, there were none. Nothing there.
And the press conference yesterday, the police did confirm. It was not in the police report, but they finally did confirm that there were shots fired. 3 to 4, they're saying.
That's what they said.
However, Kelvin's father and people in the area are saying it was more than that.
Even Mr. Williams went and looked along the way on the different trees and said he noticed that there's like different cuts in the trees where, like, if bullets were in the hole, you're trying to dig out it, like, you're chopping knife or thing, and you know how there's a hole, so something stuck all the way in, so you have to dig around.
They chopped out portions. But when would that have happened if your family was there? When would they have done that?
That would have had to have been done on Sunday, when they claimed that they left the whole area altogether. And I believe that it's true, because then villagers said, this is the old Belize Road. These people see vehicle that they're not used to, especially the GSU coming in the area. They're going to pay attention to that. They will pay attention to that. So they said a lot of villagers confirm a lot of shot was fired. A lot of villagers confirmed the GSU left in the evening from the area. Maybe there were more than one vehicle. Maybe there were more than so much of them that they did left with Cameron. They did left with him when they detained him, and somebody came back and they did their cleanup search. Villagers confirmed a lot of shots were fired, and they left after 5 minutes to 6. And I believe them.
Karima, we hold hope alive that we will be able to find Kelvin safe and sound, and that he will be returned to your family.
Thanks.
You are such a strong woman, and I'm so thankful that you are here to tell us about what has been taking place, as we can't get the extended version within the newscast. The Prime Minister is giving a press conference today. We know that there are some investigations taking place into what happened.
Yes, they told me there's going to be a thorough investigation with individual person that was there.
Has anybody from the police department reached out to you, other than the Mr. Dawson, who you said asked you whether or not he's contacted you, or has anybody else reached out?
Well, Mr. Kakom has been with us there from Tuesday evening up to Wednesday, and he's always having conversation, And I'll tell you this, even some of these police that were there from the Ladyville, the BDF and sub, confirm that he's not there.
He's not in the area.
He's not there.
Somebody has to know.
Somebody knows. Somebody, and I know somebody know, and I'm trying to figure out if you know and you're a parent, why can't, I mean, come
Talk
on, if
to
this
them.
was
Say
your
something.
child.
Yes, say something.
Tell them
How
what
would you
want.
feel if this was a child, despite the era, the situation, this was a marijuana plantation, whatever, despite that, a child is missing. If I heard that your child was missing, and with all of this, you know, I would have been so concerned, I would have found a way to go and help, take off there, do something for whosoever family that this has happened to. You guys know what happened. I want you to tell me what happened. Please, I want to find my son. I want to find him. I need to find my son. I am tired. I need to find my son. It's killing me. I really need to find my son. I need my son. I'm so sorry. I need to find my son.
It's okay.
Find my son. Please tell me
Karima.
what happened. Please tell me what happened.
I know that you are very hurt at this time, and we don't want
I'm
to.
so
We don't
sorry.
want to prolong this for you. No, we appreciate you coming in, and I hope that the people who are involved and the people who know what took place will hear your cries, that of a hurt mother, that of a concerned mother, and other people in Belize feel the very same way, and we hope that they will contact you
Please, I really
and let
hope.
you know exactly
Please,
where you can find
please,
Kelvin.
Please.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being with us
Thank
this
you.
morning.
I'm so sorry for that.
No. You have no apologies to make. You have been wronged. Your family has been wronged, and we need to find out what took place. And we hope that we find it out sooner rather than later.
Please.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you, Karima.
Thanks, everybody.
All right,
Thanks,
we're-
Belize. Thanks.
We're going to
Sorry.
go ahead and take a break. As I should say, the search continues. Anybody who wants to come out and help, the search continues. There's a vigil taking place
Yes,
tonight.
yes, I sorry. Yeah, there's a video taking place 6 tonight. Sorry, I'm not mentioning that. We're asking for white and yellow because yellow is hope.
Yeah.
Okay.
And white is peace. At 6 o'clock at the Battlefield Park, we're working towards that. Miss Diane Finningham is helping us with that a lot. So
Okay,
we're
bring along a
working towards
candle.
Yes,
You
we
mentioning.
have somebody came and dropped off some candle for us last night, but if you can, bring it off and stuff like that. We're going to try to maybe have a little sandwich and stuff for you guys.
At what time?
6 o'clock at the Battlefield Park. We're hoping to take maybe the area. We don't want to pollute the streets because these guys are walking. We don't know who all will come. We don't know which direction. So we're going to do the regular Albert Street right around Regent back to
Regent,
Battlefield
back to
and maybe have a little talk and then that's it. Now everything peace. We want peace. We're not looking for violence.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you saying that as well. And the search continues. The Prime Minister's press conference takes place today. The vigil takes place tonight. If you want to show your support or continue asking questions and demanding answers as well, to join in to ensure that we find Kelvin. Thank you.
Thank
Please,
you.
Thanks.
We have to go ahead and take a break, and we'll be back in a few. Stay tuned.